Welcome to Insider Medicine In Depth. I'm Dr. Susan Sharma. Vigorous activities such as running or aerobics may help stave off psoriasis in women, according to research published online ahead of print in the Archives of Dermatology. Here's some information about psoriasis. It is an immunological disorder that produces inflammation in the entire body, but mainly affects the skin. During a flare-up, plaques of raised red skin covered with flaky silver-white patches develop. Typically, psoriasis is a chronic condition that waxes and wanes over the years. Researchers from Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston used data from a large national study to identify more than 85,000 U.S. female nurses who reported whether they had been diagnosed with psoriasis. These nurses also completed detailed questionnaires about their physical activity levels in 1991, 97, and 2001. The investigators looked at whether there was an association between activity level and the development of psoriasis starting in 1991. After taking into account the women's ages, as well as their smoking and drinking habits, the researchers found that vigorous exercise was linked with a reduced risk of developing psoriasis. Participating in a level of intensity of exercise that is equivalent to about 105 minutes of running per week was associated with a 25 to 30% decreased risk of developing psoriasis compared to not participating in any vigorous exercise. Interestingly, only certain types of vigorous activity, namely running and performing aerobic activities such as calisthenics, were associated with a reduced risk of psoriasis. Other vigorous activities, including jogging, playing tennis, swimming, and cycling, were not associated with psoriasis risk. The authors suggest that this may be because the latter activities can be performed at varying levels of intensity. Walking was also not associated with psoriasis risk. Among a subset of more than 500 women who had already experienced an episode of psoriasis, vigorous activity reduced the risk that they would experience another episode. We had a chance to speak with Dr. Abrar Qureshi, corresponding author, who offered some further insight.
In this study, we found that individuals, at least specifically women in the United States, who were exercising at a certain activity level seemed to have a lower risk of developing psoriasis in the future. Certainly this is one study. The work needs to be replicated, and although we did our best to adjust for other known risk factors of psoriasis, including body mass index, including alcohol intake, smoking, we found that despite adjusting for these risk factors that are known for psoriasis, vigorous physical activity did seem to be protective for psoriasis risk.
Today's research suggests that the link between vigorous activity and psoriasis deserves further study. In the meantime, if you have psoriasis or know you are at risk of developing the condition, you can talk to your healthcare professional about whether engaging in vigorous activity might be helpful for you. For Insider Medicine In Depth, I'm Dr. Susan Sharma.